might think geek isn't the most favorable character trait, but then again, hundreds of self-proclaimed geeks are gathering in Savannah for Geekend, sharing their geeky ideas that help them excel in their careers. But there's one geek playing hooky from high school to show the experienced geeks how it's done. There's a glow in Savannah this weekend, and it's in the hands of a bunch of geeks, a group of technology gurus grabbing the social networking bull by the horns. Among them,
that passion allows us to chase a lot of our dreams.
A 16-year-old entrepreneur, Parth DeBar,
As you can see, it's very simple to use.
who created a website for simple reviews of iPhone and iPad apps.
Well, my session topic is Teenagers, We Get It.
He's a guy who gets it all right, using social media to form a team of writers for his site, none of whom he's ever met in person, all who are dedicated and working passionately, paycheck free.
So when I started the site, I used a social network called Twitter, and what I learned from that is that a social network can be an entrepreneur's GPS if used correctly.
The organizers agree that's where the people are. In fact, they reached a majority of the people here by showing up on their smartphones.
People have definitely found out about Geekend through 140 characters via Twitter, or maybe they saw something on Facebook from a friend, or maybe a blog post out there.
Not convinced these sites are your best marketing tools?
He is literally on the machine all the time.
Even Parth's father says they've been the answer for him with a little help from his favorite geek.
He in fact started a business for me where we have a facility which we wanted to rent, and he figured out how to rent the thing out as an office over the Twitter and Facebook network. Great job. I mean, he actually sold the facility for me without me having to do anything.
Yeah, so if you'd like to follow.
So if you're wondering what Parth friends think about all this, he's here with us to tell us. All right, Parth, so back at home, which is San Jose, California, right?
Yeah, correct.
Tell me what your friends think about all this jazz you got going.
I live two lives. My friends don't know about what I do. It's living two lives at once. One is an entrepreneur's life, and one is a teenager's. So
they do now.
Yeah, well, now they do.
Here we go, everybody. Friends, this is the real Parth. Okay, so tell me how this whole thing got started. Your website, which you can give it a plug. It's
simple-reviews.com.
Simple-reviews.com. So
yeah.
go check it out right now. And how did it get started?
I was in a hotel room in Chicago on vacation, and I got the idea for it. So, yeah.
And you've also created some apps of your own, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about those. Which ones have you created?
I developed a few iPhone apps, and one is Hotline, and the other is Call 411S. Hotline is a speed dialing one for the iPhone, and Call 411S is a service which allows you to make 411 simpler. So
very
yeah.
cool. And tell me about Simple Reviews, what it does and why you think it's just the right thing.
Nowadays, you need information in a flash, so Simple Reviews makes iPhone and iPad reviews simple, and they're very easy to understand. So.
And when you're talking about simple, tell me how you lay it out. It's like a really brief synopsis, right?
Yeah. So in the beginning, we give the reader a brief review of the app, and then we move on to the pros and cons. So we don't beat around the bush.
All right. Tell me about your Geekend experience. What do you think so far? Will you be headed back tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be going back tomorrow, and it was a great experience.
And what's been your favorite part so far?
My session. So.
And Parth, this was your first time presenting, right?
Yeah.
So tell me how it went.
Oh, it was great. An awesome experience which every teenager should get to try in their teenage childhood.
Okay, and what was your topic, and tell me kind of what you talked about.
My topic session was called Teenagers, We Get It, and I was talking about teenage entrepreneurs in today's industry, and how a teenage entrepreneur is born, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur.
Okay, so. And you said that you really reach out to Twitter and Facebook. Really, Twitter is your main thing, right? Tell me how you use that for your business.
I found the people I needed to start the website off Twitter, and the whole Simple Reviews team is global. So my writers are global. My web host is somebody in India, and that's how I use Twitter. I use it as a great tool for an entrepreneur.
Okay, now I was surprised that you were 16 and doing all this, but you said, and I figured that your writers were all older than you, but in fact, that's quite the opposite. Tell me about the age span of your writers and where they're located.
Yeah, so we have two writers in Singapore. One is 14 and the other is 13. I have one writer in Honduras who's 22 and one in Washington who's 31. And these writers are not only interested in writing, but they're passionate for what they do.
Okay, and you told me, I learned something new today. You've never met them in person, but you have seen their face through FaceTime.
Yeah.
Okay, I consider myself a little bit geek, but I didn't know what FaceTime was. But I guess that's because I'm the BlackBerry user, right?
Yeah. So FaceTime is a thing which Apple invented. So if you have an iPhone 4 or iPod Touch, you can FaceTime between users, and it's pretty much video conferencing. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So tell me what your plans are after you graduate high school, which you got a couple more years. You're in 11th grade, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your goals and aspirations? What do you want to major in? Where do you want to go with this?
I want to major in industrial design, and I hope to work for Apple someday.
All right, very good. And this is your first trip to Savannah, too.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
It's a pretty cool city. Yeah.
And you said it's a lot different from back home.
Yeah. It's not your normal city life.
Okay.
So.
And so what are some different aspects that you've learned at Geekend that you think that you might take back home?
Social media is very powerful. Without it, you wouldn't be able to get anywhere. And I learned how to be a better person who can socialize with others, I guess. So I learned more important tools for networking.
All right, very cool. Parth, it was a pleasure talking to you here on Milo Country 3, and I am just so proud to say I'm the first person to interview him on TV, and I can't believe it. So one day maybe this interview will be worth something, because I think you're going places, kid.